Hey guys, Michael B. the Game Genie. It's been a long time, but I'm here today to do a very special video. Before I get started, I just want to take a couple minutes to explain why I'm doing this. So, recently, if you guys watch the Thrift Dwellers, I'll link them down in the comments below, they put a big surprise at the end of the last video. It was a message from one of the very first people I subscribed to on YouTube, EdT1138. And Ed told everybody he was going to come back to a Top 3 Tuesday, and I was so excited. Now, Top 3 Tuesday, you guys are probably asking what that is. Well, a long time ago, when I first started on YouTube, one of the ways that I really got into YouTube and really got into the community was through a show Ed did called Top 3 Tuesday. So every week, Ed would put up a video, Top 3 Tuesday. It would list a video game topic, and then sometimes he would have people come on and they would be the guest people that would do the video, and then he would give his top 3, but he would also get video responses. Remember video responses? That's when the community really died, is when YouTube took that away, because it really limited the ability for everybody to communicate. So after a while, Top 3 Tuesday kind of went away. And I was really sad. Like, if you guys look through my video history, like, I've done a ton of videos, but if you go back to some of my earliest videos, they were all Top 3 Tuesday responses. I loved it. It was the best thing in the world, and I met some of my favorite people. Some of my favorite people on YouTube that I still talk today, like Weekend Game Guy and Mr. Dude 206. I met both those guys doing Top 3 Tuesday. They're fantastic, and we talk pretty much every day. Conversation's gotten a lot weirder. It's certainly a lot less about video games, but yeah, the Bear Club chat is still running strong. So anyways, after seeing the Thrift Dweller video, and oh my god, there's a giant snowplow outside, which is going to make this video sound fantastic, but I don't have a lot of time, so we'll just power through. So anyways, Top 3 Tuesday is something that's very near and dear to me, so I've decided that even though it's going to be done at the end of the Thrift Dweller video, hey, I haven't made a video in a while, and this is something that was super important to me, so I'm going to try my hand at it. So the way this will work is I'm going to put a video up, I'm going to talk about my top 3 favorite, games in a subject or something along those lines. And what I want everybody to do is then to, respond. Now, we don't have the tagged video responses like we used to, but cool thing is, I want to see all your responses. And how you do that is shoot me the link to your video in the comments below, and I'll go through and I'll watch every one. And I'll actually, like Ed did, pick my 3 favorites and mention them in next week's video. Yeah, that's the idea. I'm going to do this weekly. Whew, that's a commitment. So anyways, I'll list my top 3 favorite videos next week, so you could get a shout out, or I don't know if that means anything to you or not, but I'll mention it on my channel and the next video. And also, on top of that, what I'd also like to see is, hey, if you guys, want to throw your top 3 up there as just a comment, you don't want to make a video response, hey, go ahead, that's great too. But also, if you're in the comment section, why don't you suggest some other top 3s you'd like to see? Like, it could be top 3 arcade games, that one might be a little harder to do, but top 3, gun games, something along those lines. Anything you want to do, shoot them out in the comments for the video. So anyways, today's topic is the top 3 bad games that I thought were a lot of fun. And for me, this one goes back to my very first days of YouTube too. Like a lot of people, I found out about YouTube because I found out about the Angry Video Game Nerd. I remember one of the first things I was online looking for, a review of Castlevania 2 to see if I wanted to actually pick it up and play through it. And I came across the Angry Video Game Nerd video on Castlevania 2, which led me to watch all his videos. And I don't know if I'm a masochist or not, but I saw all these games that were supposedly bad, and I really wanted to play them. So I went back and started playing a lot of NES games. And some, like, he mentioned, I said, yeah, I remember renting that as a kid, I hated it. But others, I went back and played, and I was like, I'm sure it's all an act, because this game's actually pretty good. So all 3 of these games I'm going to be talking about today all fall under that category. They were all on the Angry Video Game Nerd, and I'm really shooting fish in a barrel here too, because they're also all LJN games. First up is a game I've actually reviewed. That's going to be a common thread here, and that is Back to the Future. I know Back to the Future has got a ton of hate. People ask the question, what does this have to do with the movie? Why is there no music from the game? And all that's been explained in review after review. If you really want to get a good look at Back to the Future and what I think of it, you can go check my review. But for a short overview, I think it's a great game. It's got a different element to it. It's a mix between a shoot 'em up and Paperboy. And you know what? They're both winning combinations. There's no reason why this game is bad, except for the fact that some of the elements really don't make a lot of sense, and it's confusing to people, like why are you collecting the clocks, all that stuff. If you take the time to learn it, Back to the Future is actually a really fun game, and really challenging, and it's one that I thoroughly enjoy. Next up, like I mentioned, it'd be a common thread, is another video game I've reviewed and I've talked about to death, and that's Friday the 13th. I remember I rented this game as a kid from Hamilton's Grocery next to my house in Paradise, and I kept it for like 2 months. I was determined that I was going to beat Friday the 13th, but the problem that I had with it then is the problem that a lot of people have with it. It's a very ambiguous game, and there's some really cryptic shit. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Like, you don't go straight forward, like just fight Jason, and it's not laid out. It's not a platforming game. A lot of the problems Back to the Future 2 was it just wasn't a platforming game, and that's what people are used to. This is actually one of the most unique games I've ever played in my entire life. The map is unintuitive, you know, the weapon system is crazy, and it's one of those Nintendo Power type games where you just have to have it laid out to you. But once it is laid out to you, the game actually makes a lot of sense. It's still, a lot of it is some elements of luck, I think. I know that when I'm playing, it's no problem for me to get the note, I know I gotta go into the woods, but then I gotta find a key so I can actually get into the shack in the woods. And this is where I have all the problems, because I'm not 100% sure where the keys pop up. I can go to places where I think the key's gonna pop up, but I can't always remember. I might be wrong about this, but I think sometimes when you're jumping to get the items, and you're jumping to get the key, it only pops up in certain areas, but I may be wrong and it just might be a luck thing. And it's time too, which is another frustrating thing. So you're out, you know, trying to avoid Jason, trying to get these items so you can move through and get the torch, which can actually take Jason down pretty easily. And the whole time, you've got the other counselors in other cabins that are dying off, which if you try to, you know, traverse the map, which is what everybody does before they understand how to play it, it's impossible to get to the cabins to save the other counselors. You just go into the small cabins, press start, and you can kind of warp through the map, and it makes that very easy. The frustrating one is the cabin on the lake where the kids are, and getting your counselor close to that so they can get in the boat and go out. Always use the expendable counselors for that, never use your good counselors. Outside of that, once you understand how to play the game, it's amazing. It's great, and it's very unique. And if you haven't tried it out, one of probably the biggest hidden gems on the NES if you like different games. If you like platformy type shit, well, it's probably not for you. Last but not least, it's actually a game I haven't reviewed yet, but I'm going to continue the trend. It's LJN, and it's actually a horror game too, and that's Nightmare on Elm Street. So Nightmare on Elm Street, before I say anything else about it, I will tell you I understand why people find this game frustrating. Again, it's not very clear. There's some random elements about which house you go into first. If you're not familiar with that, you're just going to traverse the map. And I remember as a kid, that's all I did. I just walked along that straight line, didn't know where to go, couldn't figure anything out. So what you have to do is one of the first 3 houses, you can go into one of them, and they change every time you turn the game on. You're going to go through a different path, but it's always the same level no matter which house you go into. Figure that out. But once you're in the house, you're actually on a fetch quest where you've got to go through the house and you've got to collect all the bones, which allows you to pass and take on the boss of that level. It's actually a pretty unique aspect, but people find it frustrating. The other complaint that people have with this one is the controls are kind of meh. And I get that, like, honestly, the jumping is really floaty and can be super, super frustrating at times. It's not broken, it's just a very poor design choice that really takes away from the fun from the game. I mean, once you get used to it, it's like any NES game. You get used to a way to jump and it's not a problem, but sometimes, like, you miss some very difficult platforming because of the floaty jumping. I remember when we did our Halloween special and Stu did his playthrough, another mistake that people make is they don't understand that when you go into the dream state, you can actually get a dream power, a lot like the third movie in the Nightmare on Elm Street series, the Dream Warriors. So once you collect one of the powers, it's either, it's like a gymnast, which is Kristen's power, a wizard, I forget his name, it's been a long time since I watched number 3. I am the Wizard Master! But, and you can also be a ninja like Rick in part 4. So, you know, they take a lot of elements from the movie and actually put that in the game, which I really appreciated. And once you get those powers, the bosses become super easy. And there's also some very tricky platforming that can be done in your normal jumping aspect, but it gets super easier once you get the wizard power because he actually has the float like Princess in Mario 2, which can make for the platforming very easy. Overall, it can be a very frustrating game. Sometimes the hit detection on the bosses is super irritating, and the most irritating thing of all, I think what some people are going to be most frustrated with, it's hard. It's not that it's a bad game, it's a hard game. You get, I think it's like 4 or 5 continues, and pretty much when you're playing through, if you don't get through the graveyard without, you know, basically keeping all your lives without losing a continue, you're probably not going to beat the game. It's that hard. Yeah, but other than that, fantastic game. I'll elaborate more at some point because I am going to review this one, I guarantee it. But that's my take on A Nightmare on Elm Street. So guys, those are my top 3 games that people think that are bad that I think are great. So, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I want to actually hear from you guys. You know, what are your top 3 bad, like, games that people think are bad that you actually really enjoy? And you can do that by filming a video response and linking me in the comment. And I'd really appreciate this too, guys, because I'm at a really blah time with YouTube where I don't really watch a lot. I'm not inspired to watch a lot of videos. I watch some reviews here and there, but I really left that aspect of the community. I'm not out searching for things, and this is a great way for me to get to meet you guys and find out what you're all about and, you know, get your opinion. So, like I said, I'd like to watch your videos, and next week, on my next top 3, I'll announce who had the top 3 video responses. Yeah, I think you can still do it. You just put a link in the comment section. That's the best way for me to find it. And it's the best way for other people who watch this video to go down and scroll through and see your responses too. I really want to get back to that part of YouTube where, you know, through Ed and the great work that he did, we formed our own little sub-community that was all about the top 3 Tuesday people, and hopefully a lot of those people, if they're still on YouTube, some of them I don't see anymore, and maybe that's just my fault, but hopefully they see this and they want to jump in and we can reconnect. And, you know, even if you weren't part of that, trust me, this was a very cool experience, and I met some of the coolest people, and hopefully it motivates you to do that. Also, if there's any heat with Ed or the Thrift Fellas, like if you guys work something out, you were going to do this going forward, I mentioned in the comments, try and stop me, I was going to do it. So, what are you going to do? You want to go? I'm only joking. You guys want to do it? Not a problem. But what I would suggest everybody do here, if you like this video, I'm a poor comparison compared to Ed. Go back and watch Ed T1138's videos, his whole Top 3 Tuesday series. If he was willing to do this, I wouldn't have to be doing this right now. Or maybe the Thrift Dwellers actually do have intentions to do it too, and you know what, they're really cool guys. Maybe go check out theirs. Maybe you're not interested in doing mine. Maybe theirs would be more your take, so hey, go do that. I don't know what's going to happen. I just want to get the band back together, so we'll see how it goes. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. Michael B. the Game Genie. If this works out, I'll talk to you next Tuesday.